Signal being turned, and duck was off. "Oh no," said Mavis. "Ah!" And there was a splintering crash. But unfortunately, it was such a deep drop that Thomas became derailed. "Oh bother," said Thomas.
It jolted Bolter down the mountain. Just then, Boulder fell from the top, and he rolled onto the main line, and he got stuck up on the mountain. Henry had already started down the hill, and he knocked into it. Then Henry fell over the hill. He said, "Ouch." "Hopefully this will stop it," he said, and Boulder ran down the mountain and crashed. Boulder was stopped, but Thumper lay on his side, and the trucks rattled onto the turntable and crashed. They were all giggling and laughing. "Oh no," he said, "watch out!" And he crashed onto the turntable. "Oh no," he said, and he crashed at the bottom of the hill. But it was too late. Gordon smashed into the trucks, and they went running down the track. Gordon was derailed, but he didn't look hurt. The whole train was a mess. His wheels slipped because of the fog, and the road was wet, and now he was dangling off the side. "Oh no," said Lori, "this is very bad." The package slipped off a lorry, and it crashed onto the track below. He tried to give one last shot at it, but it was too late. He then tumbled off the side and crashed at the bottom. And he crashed into Henry. He bumped Henry so hard that Henry crashed into the back of the shed. He had hit the back of the shed so hard that the roof caved in. That class boy bumped into him, and he couldn't stop. "Help, help," cried Gordon, but it was too late, and Gordon crashed into the ocean. "Oh no," said the Diesels. "Stop, stop, stop." But the heavy momentum of the coaches pushed them down to the track and crashed at the bottom. The only thing you could think of stopping it was running into the crossing. The cargo truck came through the mountain, and it crashed into him. Tiger Moth came down, and he smacked into Rocky's crane. "Oh no," he said. He flipped upside down and missed the landing spot, and he flipped upside down, and he crashed. Unfortunately, the signalman didn't have time to switch the points, and he ran into a siding and crashed into the ocean. "Look what you've done," he said. "You've shattered the soda line caboose and those milk tankers for Farmer McColl, and your own train's in a mess too. You're very silly, Frank." And she crashed into Thomas's train. "It isn't your express, it's my express," he said, and he banged the Frank cars hard. "Oh no," said James, but luckily they diverted into a siding. "Hooray," said James, and they crashed off the track and into the ocean. And he crashed into it while it was sinking. The trucks pushing down a hill caused this big mess, but luckily Edward arrived at the breakdown train. So unfortunately, he can't pull the train. "Watch out," said the engines. "Oh no," said Scarlet, "help!" But it was too late, and they crashed onto the turntable. And they crashed into the train. And the cars went flying into Rheneas' siding, and they crashed into him. Rheneas bumped backwards, and the trucks went into the water. And Henry's wheels slid off the track. The last few cars stayed on the track, but the rest of the cars fell on Henry. He tried his best, but he couldn't see where the end was, and he accidentally crashed into the shed. And next thing, she opened her eyes and saw that she was crashing into the Flying Scotsman's last tender. But sometimes it leads to disaster. And they crashed into his tender. The tender fell off the track. "Oh no," said the twins. "We're very sorry." What had happened was the Flying Scotsman had zoomed down the hill, and it crashed into his coach. He rushed into there, and he couldn't stop, and he crashed into the Flying Scotsman. He then hit the track, and he rolled over and over and over. He ended up landing on his side. "You truck, stop it!" And he banged the trucks hard, so much that they fell off the track. And onto James's line. He had so much momentum that he zoomed down the hill and he crashed into them. He was going so fast that he accidentally fell off the track and crashed into the house below. Luckily, no one was in it at the time. That knocked Boulder off the top. It crashed down the beam of sand. It came zooming around and it crashed into one. Suddenly, the track, however, gave away. It was all very sudden, and so Henry, who was sitting in the tunnel at the time, came out and he crashed off the track. "Oh no," he said. Bill couldn't stop in time, and he crashed into Rocky's crane. Rocky was set off balance. "Oh," he said, and he crashed down into the track below. "Help, help," he said. Arthur could see this. "I'm coming to get help," he said. But he accidentally went too far back, and he crashed off the track, just like Henry. Unfortunately, the jolt had been so drastic that it knocked Spencer's tender up over the turntable, and it was very disastrous. Luckily, the Duke and Duchess weren't on board at the time. "Watch out," he said, and he banged into Bill. "Oh no," he said. "Be careful, Bill. Don't fall off the track." But Bill was running down so fast that he couldn't keep on the track. He crashed off the track. He expected to stop, but he didn't. He rolled through the grass and crashed into two foundations at the bridge. "Oh no," he said. Unfortunately, Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle were passing over at the time, and suddenly the bridge gave away. "Oh no," said Thomas. "Watch out!" And he and his coaches crashed off of the line. She went right into the sign, and she smashed through the breakdown. It was a terrible crash, and Wilbur was knocked off the track. "Ow," he said. "That hurt." He was so in shock because he didn't know what it was. They bumped the trucks hard. Unfortunately, the truck's wheels were very old and they needed to be fixed. They came off the track and they crashed. "Whoa," he said. He swerved all over the road and accidentally crashed into Dunkin' Soda dairy cars. And Gordon ran into the tender. Then they both crashed heavily. "Oh no," said the engines. "We've crashed." The goods train had so much momentum that he ran off the track and fell onto the grass. He ran at Scarlatti, but it was so hard that he ran into Scarlatti, and Scarlatti fell off the track. Suddenly, Boulder began to move more and more faster, and he crashed down on Henry. "Oh," said Henry, "cinders and ashes." There was a splintering crash, and Gordon leaped over the turntable. Finally, his wheel became loose. Yes, but he crashed into the track so hard, he flipped upside down and landed on it. "Cinders and ashes," said George. "I flipped over." And with his cow catchers and side plates, he slid George right off the track. And he ran onto the turntable and smashed into both of them. Then all of a sudden, there was a splintering crash. And the trucks pulled her and crashed into a goods train. "Oh no," said Rosie, "cinders and ashes." And she ran into the back of the shed. "Oh," said Rosie, "ouch." She hit the back of the shed so hard that she popped out the other side. James came around the bend, and Thomas smacked into the bridge so hard that the bridge fell over. Toby tried his best, but unfortunately the momentum of Henrietta and Old Slow Coach pushed him off the side. Mavis ran down the hill so fast that Toby came along and he crashed off the side. "Oh no," said Toby, "this is terrible." He came around the bend and some of the goods fell out and banged them on the head. "Ow," said Terrence, "what was that?" "Incoming," said Thumper. "Oh, ouch." "Watch out," said Alfie. "Ow, oh, this isn't good. Ow." He came off the track and he crashed into the buffers. But it was too much for Rickety's frame. All of a sudden, he burst up over the quarry mine tunnel, and he stood there for a second. "Help!" he said. Meanwhile, Cordelia pushed so hard that he fell off the track. "Whoa!" he said. "Ouch!" Just then, Rickety began to slide. "Watch out!" And he crashed onto Duncan. Chocolate was everywhere. Then it all went loose. Rickety fell off the track and onto the station. The coupling snapped. The trucks ran down the hill and they crashed into a field. "Ouch!" said Scruffy. "That hurt." It couldn't take the weight of Scruffy's frame, and suddenly Scruffy collapsed off the track. "Cinders and ashes," said Oliver. "Help!" said Thomas. "Oh no!" And one of the trees came up and it fell down on Thomas. "Ouch!" he said. Another one banged into Annie. Annie was derailed, and so was Thomas. The diesels didn't have time to stop either, and they rammed into the back of the train. Oh! Frank went onto the turntable and banged into one of the turntable walls. The trucks piled up in front of him. They giggled and laughed. He came across the track and he banged into the turntable wall. He was pushing the wall along the track. Suddenly, his front wheel went up over it and he was derailed. But luckily, the coupling snapped and the coaches stayed on the rails. Meanwhile, Mike went thundering through a field. "Whoa!" he said. "Help! Someone stop me!" Just then, there was Lori with a flatbed. Lori didn't see him coming, and Mike smashed into the flatbed at full speed. At the wrong angle. "Watch out!" he said. Rocky was shunted onto the turntable, and he stopped. James kept on going, and soon his tender was propped up in the air on Rocky's car. James fell over on its side. Duncan backed up and he smashed into the caboose. "Oh, ouch," said Duncan. "That hurt." Unfortunately, the old bridge couldn't take the weight of Sir Handel and the trucks, and Sir Handel's front wheels slipped off of the track and he fell onto the ground below. Spencer went right up close to him and was about to dip into the sea. "Ah!" Bulstrode raced around and he went so hard he crashed into the track and the package fell out. But unfortunately, there was trouble for Spencer. He raced down the hill so fast that he fell off the track. "Ah! Ouch!" He raced around the bend so Spencer could get across. Hugh went so fast that he crashed into Percy. It was a big mess. "Ouch!" said Percy. "That hurt." "Ah!" yelled Peter Sam. Peter Sam went into a sign and smashed into Gordon hard. "Ouch!" said Gordon. "That hurt." Murdoch rounded the bend so fast he couldn't stop and he crashed into the caboose. "Ah!" Murdoch was going so fast that one by one the trucks fell off the line. And indeed it was a crash site. It was a mess. Hugh laid in the rubble and he looked very hurt. Sir Topham Hatt was very astounded. Class 40 raced down the hill. "Ah!" he yelled. "Oh! Ouch!" But the diesels diverted into another line very quickly and Gordon went straight. "Oh!" said Gordon. Soon he went right off the rails and into a field. Luckily, none of the passengers had boarded yet. "Shouldn't we test it?" said one of the workmen. "Nah," said Sir Topham Hatt. "We don't have enough time. The diesels could come bursting out of there at any second." And right as he said that, the diesels did. They burst through the wall and went up Gordon's hill. He hit the track and jumped over it, spun out of control and hit Tiger Moth, who was at the Sodor airfield. "Ouch!" said Tiger Moth. "That hurt." But unfortunately, they hit the bumps wrong on the track and they both flew off. "Where are you getting closer?" yelled Spannington. "I'm not," said Bowler. "You are." Then there was a big collision. "Ouch!" said the diesels. "That hurt." He didn't take aware of his surroundings, and he came out the other side and splashed into the turntable well. Peter Sam raced into a siding, but there was Sir Handel with another freight car. "Watch out!" called Peter Sam. "No," said Sir Handel. "You watch out!" And the two engines crashed together. Peter Sam went right onto the Sodor runway. Thomas saw Rosie coming too. He raced backwards so fast he crashed into the railroad crossing. Oh, said Thomas. On the other side of the crossing was Mavis. Mavis raced back so fast that she fell off the track. And the turntable had been turned so Percy could get out, and Rosie smacked into it and went over the turntable wall. The brakeman's wheels, unfortunately, were very old, and they came off the track. "Stop!" yelled the brakeman, but it did no good. And the train tumbled off the top. Oh, said the truck, that hurt. But it wasn't enough, and he skidded onto the platform. "Ah!" yelled Rheneas, and his front dipped into Bolstra, who was passing just underneath. "Oh," said Rheneas, "I'm sorry, Bolstra." And he rushed at Frank so hard, he hit Frank. Oh! Frank tipped over the side and fell on the Bolstra. "Cinders and ashes," said Bolstra. "Watch out," called Laurie, and he skidded to a stop. The flatbed crashed into Boulder Mountain, and Boulder fell right off. Then there was trouble. There was a surface to track ramp, and Laurie didn't see it. He went off of it, and he flipped through the air. Oh! "Ouch," he said. "Watch out," called Duncan. He was diverted off Rheneas' track and right into Ivo Hugh. Duncan hit the cargo car so hard it exploded, and Ivo Hugh was knocked off the track. "Cinders and ashes," he said. Worst of all, Duncan was knocked off the track too, and his goods train was a mess behind him. "Hey guys," said Mavis as she raced in. "Watch out! Whoa! Oh!" And Mavis hit it hard. It flew up into the air. Oh! It hit Cranky's crane. Whoa! Oh! "Ouch," he said. Just then, Bolstra was making his way back into the docks. There was barely enough room for him to squeeze in there. "What in the world?" he said. Just then, the flatbed landed in it. "Ouch," said Bolstra. "Help! This is heavy. I'm sinking." James applied his brakes. Mike pushed even harder forward, and soon James came off the track and was dangling off the side. "Oh dear," said James. "Help! Help!" "Stop!" they yelled, but Stepney didn't. One by one, he pushed the trucks right off the track. And one by one, they crawled into a big heap. Soon, Stepney couldn't stop, and he was involved in the wreck. "They're pushing you! Watch out!" Oliver went onto the wrong one and smashed right into Catherine. Catherine's back car fell to pieces, and the goods fell out. And it happened to be that Oliver was crossing right over the crossing on 3. The train collided with the milk heavily. Oliver, however, was still on the track. Bill was shunting a cargo car, and he ran to Oliver at the top. The cargo car flipped over the side. "Oh dear," said Bill. "I'm sorry." They ran on the sharp end, and Oliver came right off the track. Cody was shunted right back into Arthur. Arthur banged back into the soda dairy cars, and suddenly his front went straight up. "Whoa," said Arthur. "Help!" Just then Cody went right under him. "Whoa," said Arthur, and fell back down onto his side. That was crazy. And in fact, Toby had crashed. There was a sharp bend up ahead, and Toby couldn't stop, and he rattled off the track. Toby was very hurt. "I better be off," said Tiger Moth. All of a sudden, he knocked Boulder off again. "Bother," he said. Wait," said Smudger, and suddenly the trucks pushed him right past the signal. "Help!" called Smudger. By now, the drawbridge was all the way up. "Help!" called Smudger. He went straight up in the air. Suddenly the coupling snapped, and the trucks rattled backwards. Smudger went airborne, and he tumbled back behind the lighthouse. Inch by inch, Boulder began moving. "Hooray!" they said. They banged and banged again, and soon Boulder did fall down. Once Boulder hit the ground, all the snow blew away as fast as it came. "Wow," said Jack, "that actually worked." However, there was more trouble along the way. It was now becoming very icy and slippery. Suddenly, Jack wiped out. "Whoa," said Jack, "that was weird." "Yes, indeed," said Alfie. "He spun out too." It took them a while to get to the yard, because after they turned around, they'd wipe out again. But soon they did it, however.